Welcome back everyone. This is the part 5 of our CRUD Operations series. In this episode, we are going to talk about the update delete operations in our MySQL database using Prisma. Let's do a quick recap. In the previous part, we created a CRUD application. We connected our database, MySQL database, using Prisma. We created 3 models: users, to do, and tags. We identified relationship between users and to do, and then relationship between to do and tags. We created a route called page.js. By using this route, we were able to query our various methods. The methods which we have created in the past were utility methods to create to do, create users, and query the outputs. On the top right corner, you should be able to see the playlist for the CRUD operations. Also, if you're liking our content, go to our channel and do subscribe. Thank you. Let's get started. So the very first thing which we are going to do, we are going to create a utility method called update user.js. In this utility method, we'll be covering all the methods required to update the user's model. So the very first method which I'm going to create is export const update user. It will be an asynchronous method. In this method, we'll be using same try catch block. We'll be returning the error from here, and then in the try block, we'll be sharing the result. What we have to do, we have to invoke Prisma, and under Prisma, we have to use the update method. So in the update method, what we have to do, we have to identify what column we want to update. So the update method works with the where clause, and we have to pass a ID column. So the ID which I am going to pass is 2. The data represents what exactly we want to update. So I want to say validated should be marked as true for the ID number 2. I'm going to return the results which I have captured above. Give it a quick save. And to see the results, what we have to do in the page, we have to import this method. So const update user result equals to await update user method, and then console.log json.stringify update user result dot null comma 2. So that's how we are going to see this. But before clicking on the save button, let me rearrange this console so that you can see the results side by side. First thing which I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my terminal, and in the terminal, I'm going to shift this terminal on the right hand side. Let me drag this on the right hand side, and let me clear the console. Now I'm going to give it a quick save. You can see the ID number 2 is now updated. The validated status is true. If you look at the updated date, it got updated with the current timestamp, and that is 9:37:31. So that's how you update the user records. What if you want to update multiple users? You can follow the same approach. Export const update users. This time it will be a async function as well, and then same try catch block where we are going to return the error, and then const result equals to await prisma.users.update many. So we have to use the update many method, where let's say I want to update all the users where first name starts with test. If a username starts with test, just update the results and say the data validated should be marked as false. Wherever the username starts with test, the data should be for them validated should be marked as false. Let's return the results. Now before clicking on the save button, what I'm going to do in the page file, I'm going to comment out both of these things, and then in the update user.js I'm going to save this update users method. So there is an error, spelling is incorrect. Now this is an asynchronous method. Now give it a quick save, and then we are going to invoke this method on the page.js. We are going to copy the same code, paste it over here, update users result, uncomment this, update users, method name is update users, and then I'm going to print the same update users result. Before that I have to import this update users method from the same file. Let's give it a quick save. You should be able to see the results on the right hand side. You can see 2 users are updated. If you want to see the results, you know the command npx prisma studio, and from the Prisma studio you should be able to see all the user details. So you can see test user 1, test user 2, both are marked as false right now. Let's jump to the next method which we are going to talk about is how we are going to update the to-dos. So that to update the to-do, we are again going to create one more utility method. Name it as update todo.js. Export const update todo async function, and then try catch block, return the error, and it should be const result equals to await prisma dot todo dot update. What I'm going to do, we have to follow the same approach where we have to pass the ID column. Let's pick up one ID from our database. Let's go to one of the to-do. The ID number is 2. Let's go to ID number 2 and mark it as, let's see what is the current status. It is false. For the ID number 2, completed status is false. I'm going to change it to true. So data completed equals to true. Clear the terminal, and then before doing this I'm going to comment out this so that nothing should get updated. Save this update to do file, and then let's modify our page.js. Uncomment this, update to do result, and then method name will be update to do. It should be update to do result, and if I go here and save this, you should be able to see nothing is updated. Why? What is the reason? Let's see. We are not returning anything here. Return result. You can see the ID number 2 is now updated. The completed status is marked as true. What if we want to update multiple to-dos? We have to follow the same approach. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to use the update many method. Rename this function to update to-dos, update many, where ID equals to 2, or maybe let's say pick up another data set. We'll go to the to-dos model. In to-dos model we have got few data starting with C. Let's try to update them. One is true, one is false. Let's mark both of them as true. So where to-do text starts with C, mark data as completed as to do true. So it will be update to-dos, update to-dos result, update to-dos result, and then I'm going to save this first. Okay, and then I'm going to save this page.js to see the impact. You can see 2 records are updated with the name C. We'll go and see the results here. Give it a refresh. Both the cleaning and car services are marked as true. If you look at the timestamp, both should be same. So that's how you update your to-dos. Now the next thing which you want to validate is if a user exists in the database, then only perform the update. If the user does not exist in the database, then create it. For such methods, what we have to do, we have to use upsert method. Let's create one more utility method. Create update.js. In create update.js, I'm going to create one method called export const create update user. It will be an async function. Try catch block. Return the error, and then I'm going to extract the results by using upsert method. So Prisma, import this prisma.users.upsert. In the upsert method, we are going to say if ID number 2 exists, then you have to perform an update. What update we need to do? Validated, mark validated as true. If the ID number 2 does not exist, then create the data. First name will be test user 3. Last name will be test user last name, and validated equals to false. This method can be used in validating whether the email ID exists in the system or not. If the email ID is marked as ID column, then we can use this method and update the schema based on the ID column. If the email does not exist, then we can simply go and create that data in our database. Let's pass result as a return object. Give it a quick save. In page.js, we are going to use the same code again, and I'm going to comment out this, and then create update user result. It will be create update user, create update user result, and then give it a quick save. If you look at the result, it says ID number 2 validated is marked as true. So the update has been performed on the first record true. What if we want to change this back and say the ID number 11? If the ID number 11 exists, then mark the validated as true, otherwise mark it as create a new user. Let's try to save this method and see the results. You can see ID number 11 does not exist, so it created one more ID called 10, and then it created another user. We can see that on the front end as well. Let's give it a quick refresh. Test user 3 with test user last name and false is created into the system. What if you want to create this user with a to do? Let's try to do this. We are going to use the same method. In the same method, we are going to say create update user with to do, and then we are going to use the same upsert method, but this time we are going to add to do as well in our list of objects. So we are going to pass create, and then the columns which we are going to use are to do text and completed status. So if you look at this, we are passing create, to do text, sample to do, and then we are going to use the completed as false. What I'm going to do in this example, I'm going to include to do as true. So the resultant on the right hand side should show you the child to do model as well. Let's go to our page.js, copy this, comment this, and then create update user to do result, and create update user to do from the utility method. To do result, go and save this first and then give this a save. You should be able to see ID number 11 is created into the system with the test user 3, test user last name. You can see one to do is also assigned with sample to do text, and the completed status is false. Let's go to the front end and validate this data. So the last record has been created by our last upsert command, and if you look at this, we have got a to do assigned to it, sample to do. So that's how you create, update the data by using Prisma in your MySQL database. Now the next part is, what if you want to update a to do based on the user details? For example, a user is validated, or if you want to pass a user ID, and based on that, if you want to update a to do, how to do that? So let's go back to our files, and then I'm going to open the update todo.js. In this file, I'm going to create one more method, export const update to do from user, and it will be async method, try catch block, return the error. In the try block, I'm going to say const result equals to await result await prisma.users. Now, so we have to update the to do. So update many, and then in the update many method, we have to pass where condition. The where condition will ask for user details. So the user schema, we are saying if the user is validated and if the user ID is 2, then update the to do completed column as true. Okay, so the ID number 2, if the status is validated, then mark completed as true. Based on a relation, we are updating the results. So I'm going to return the results. Let's see from the front end first how the ID number 2 looks like. Yes, ID number 2 is true. Let's look at the to-dos assigned to ID number 2. We have got two to-dos. One is false, true, and another one is false, the completed status. If our code runs perfectly fine, then both of the to-dos should be marked as true. Now, give this, before giving it as quick save, I'm going to comment out the code, and then I'm going to save this. I'm going to go into my page.js, const result equals to await console.log json.stringify and then I'm going to clear the terminal, give it a quick save. You should be able to see, oh, we have got some client validation error. Let's see what that validation error is. Okay, I got the error. So it should be validated. The column name is validated rather than validate. Let's give it a quick save. You can see 2 records are updated. Go back to the front end. The 2 records which are assigned to user ID number 2 are marked as true now. So that's how you perform your relational update. Based on the user record, you are updating the to-do status. Now let's talk about how we are going to delete the records from the system. So the very first method which we are going to use is delete. Let's jump into it, and we are going to create one more utility method, delete user.js. In delete user.js, we are going to export the data. Delete user, it will be async method, and try catch block, return the error, const result equals to await prisma.users.delete, where id equals to, we are going to pick up one id from the user schema, so let's pick up 4, id 4, and return the result as part of this. Let's go to our page, comment this out, and then save this code. In this, I'm going to call this method delete user. Delete user result, method name is delete user, and delete user result. Clear out the terminal and give it a quick save. You can see ID number 4, the user Simon Pitts, is now deleted from the system. The delete method, the simple plain delete method, works with the ID. You can't delete multiple users with the same delete method. So to delete multiple users, we have to use delete many method. Delete users equals to async try catch block and return the error const result equals to await prisma.users.delete many. In this, we can pass multiple condition where first name starts with maybe test. Whatever the users are starting with test can be deleted from this. I'm going to include to do as true. Let's see how the users work. I'm going to comment this out, save this, delete users, save this, and then I'm going to use the same code again and comment this, delete users result, delete users, the method name is delete users, and then it will be delete users result. Clear out your terminal, give it a quick save. You should be able to see. Again, some error is coming. Let me remove this. FIRST name starts with test. Save. We are not passing anything. Return result. Because of this command, I think the users must have been deleted. You can see all the test users are gone, but we have not passed the result, returned the result. That's why you are not able to see the result. Give it a quick save. You can see none of the records are starting with test. That's why you are not able to see any updates. One more thing you have to notice, if the parent has got a child, for example, a user has got a to-do, you might face some errors that there are child existing in the system and you can't delete it. To avoid that problem, what we have to do in the schema.prisma file, whenever you are identifying a relationship between user and to-do, you have to tell what action should be taken on delete. So on delete, we are cascading the results to the parent. So whenever a parent get deleted, all the childs will be deleted as well. So that's how you are going to delete the users from the system, or you can follow the same approach for the to-dos. The last thing which we are going to talk about is, what if you want to delete everything from the table? So export const delete table, and then try catch block, return the result error, and then const result await prisma.users.delete many, and then I'm going to say return result. If we don't pass any data from the delete many method, then ideally system should delete everything. So I'm going to comment out this. In the delete user, I'm going to save this method, and I'm going to call this delete table method. Let's copy this, paste this, uncomment both of these. Delete table. We are just deleting the data, not the entire table in this example. So delete table result. Ideally it should be delete table result. Okay, so clear the terminal, give it a quick save. You should be able to see 4 records are deleted from the system. If I go onto the front end, give it a refresh, none of the user exist, none of the to-do exist, and then ideally the tags associated with the to-dos should also go away. So the linkage is gone from the tags. So that's how you basically delete all the data from your system. Hope you are enjoying our content. If yes, then do subscribe to our channel. It gives us great motivation to create such videos. Do stick around for the more interesting videos. Thank you.